Will from Practical Performance Car here, and I'm with Malcolm David.
Good to meet you.
And a pretty rare Kadett Estate. I haven't seen one of these for many years. In fact, I can't remember how long ago. I mean, how many of them
There's currently on the road two in the UK.
Right.
So for 6 years, this was the only one.
Right.
And then a friend of mine had imported one from Portugal, couldn't get it registered, got sick of 18 months of hassle, sold it to me. And then I got that one registered. That's completely standard, and that's with a guy in Ayrshire. But as far as I know, those are the only two on the road. There's about 6 others currently in various stages of restoration.
Right, so the other one that's on the road is a standard
Completely standard, yeah.
Because this isn't, is it?
No, anything but.
Before you tell us all about that, how did you come about it?
Randomly. It was advertised on eBay in Southern Ireland. A friend of mine who lives in Northern Ireland messaged me and said, have you seen this? Knowing that I already had Chevette Estates and Chevans and a variety of other things. And I looked at it and said, yeah, but right now I haven't got the cash, it's too much money, but looks to be a good bit of kit, but no, leave it. 6 months later, it was re-advertised, but at half the price.
Right.
So then I rang my friend and said, go and buy it. Just go and buy it. Do you want me to go and test it and drive it? No, just go and buy it.
Right. So what did the guy who brought it over, because it was a Polish guy, you said?
So originally a Polish guy, moved over to Republic of Ireland, brought the car with him.
So he drove from Poland, presumably?
Presumably. So the car was originally red, completely standard, 1200cc.
Yeah.
In 2008, he set about making it better,
Yeah.
which ended up as a full bare shell photographed rebuild. At which point he painted it yellow, fitted the 2 litre 16 valve, Manta gearbox, Manta rear axle, motorbike carbs, and then kept it like that. So that was essentially how I then bought it.
Right, so you bought it as not a finished product, but
mechanically, absolutely brilliantly done.
Right.
This has been 10 years now I've had it. So I've done the two-tone, I've changed the wheels, I've done stuff with suspension, some other bits and pieces, but minor relatively. But it's probably done 1,000, 1,500 miles a year, every year in those 10 years, even when I was living abroad, and has never missed a beat.
Right.
So he did a cracking job of it, to be fair.
Right, good on him. And so it's a 2 litre XE engine, is it?
Yeah.
16 valve XE on bike carburetors,
Yeah.
not injection, so you haven't got to worry about fuel injection.
No.
Do you know what controls the sparks?
It's standalone ECU.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's a Manta gearbox, that's a 5-speed gearbox.
Yeah.
And a Manta rear axle.
Yeah.
Right.
So hence the slightly coming out rear arches.
So who did those?
Those were already on the car.
And do you know what they're from?
No idea. I think they're quite a generic type of thing you could buy for a JDM
Right.
car. But the Manta B rear axles, 30mm wider each side, then a Manta A axle. Manta A axle is the same as a Kadett one.
Ah, right.
So in order to cover the wheels, they had to put these on.
It's got a nice touch there, hasn't it?
And then when I painted it black, these just kind of disappear into the...
Yeah.
They don't stand out as much. Before it looked kind of odd, kind of unbalanced.
And what made you go for these colours then?
Because, as per the dashboard, it was already yellow. Opel only with the coupe. Made a GTE, which was a 2 litre CIH engine, and it was either yellow top half, black bottom, or yellow and white.
Right.
Those are the only 2 options from the factory. And I just thought, given that it was already yellow, and I wanted to kind of hide these a bit, and I wanted to do something different. I've previously had a SRI lookalike Cavalier estate, so I've always liked estate cars. And it was one of those, well, why not make it? It's already yellow.
Yeah.
Why not go with the whole GTE look?
Oh, right. Right.
So that's kind of where it came from, and also why the little models are on the dashboard.
And what are the brakes on it? I'm guessing they're not standard 1256cc.
They're not.
style brakes.
They're Audi discs, Carlton calipers, and green stuff pads.
Right. Audi discs.
Yeah,
That
they've been machined, because I've tried to find replacement ones, and it's incredibly difficult to find them.
Especially if you don't know what they are.
Somebody said, "Ah, there must be Carlton ones." Measured them. No, they're not.
Right.
And of course nowadays, if you go to Euro car parts,
They just ask for your registration
they go,
number.
what's the chassis number or what's the
Yeah.
registration number?
Yeah.
They no longer have the skills that people like Unipart and your independents have,
Yeah.
where they can literally go with measurements.
Yeah.
So I think I found the right pair now, but I still need to get the centres machined.
Right, fair
Well,
enough.
It's one of those, I already have 2 spare doors, a spare bonnet, 2 spare wings, a spare tailgate, and 1 whole rear quarter,
So you've almost got another Kadett then?
just in case. because if anything happened to this, where are you going to get the parts?
Yeah, well, you were saying that it doesn't stand you that much money, but it's
No.
been agreed value.
Agreed value is 25k.
That's a lot of money for Kadett Estate, isn't it?
That's a lot of money, yeah. But in Germany, then they're selling at round about 30,000 euros, and I've seen them sell for more than that. Obviously at a higher level, but average is round about, for modified with 2 litre XE and things like that, round about 30,000 euros. So it's probably about right.
Wow. Well, can we have a look under the bonnet then, Milk?
Absolutely.
Right. I don't suppose you have a lot of trouble seeing where you're going with these spotlights. Right.
So apart from changing the occasional hose and some leads and bits and pieces, this is exactly as it was
Right.
when I bought it, which is testament to how the guy actually built it with remote filters and everything else. Really well thought out. Really well thought out.
Oh, that's the oil filter over there.
Yeah.
Right. Presumably because there's no room for anyone else. It's
Yeah,
quite a
correct.
squeeze, isn't it?
That's also why they have a bit of an issue when you fit these in a Chevette or Kadett that's right-hand drive. Your brake servo and everything
Oh, yeah.
is exactly where you need the engine
Yeah.
and the inlet and everything to sit. So people tend to move those for the course of one where the battery is and move the battery.
Is that the original?
That's a Manta radiator.
Oh, it's a Manta radiator, right. It just bolts straight in, presumably.
Yeah, not far off it.
Yeah.
Not far off it. It tends to get parked up in September, sits in my garage, trickle charger on it, leave it alone, and doesn't come out when the salt on the roads. But then you go to it March, prime the oil pump, bang, every single time it just goes.
Great.
So it's almost a pain-free classic in reality. It still gets MOT'd every year.
You
There's
know,
lots
you
of
just
people-
jinxed it now, don't you?
Well, no, it is what it is. But gets MOT'd every year. Never had an issue apart from the occasional bulb. It's a cracking bit of kit.
Right. Let's go for a drive. Flash gear. Thanks, Malcolm.
Thank you.
Lovely little car. Thanks for showing it to us.
Very welcome.
I hope you
Thanks for
continue to
inviting.
enjoy it. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share with your friends, or even people you don't like. And if you've really enjoyed it, how about supporting us on Patreon? It starts from just £2 a month. You get extra videos, you get behind the scenes footage, you get written articles, £2. You can't even buy an ice cream in Kefalonia for that, can you?
Definitely not. Bargain.
No, it's a bargain. Thanks very much. See you next time.